Oh my God. Hey everybody. Hey Daniel, how you doing? How does it sound right now? We're in Studio Preston. Whale Rides, how you doing? Does the microphone work? I'm speaking. I have a microphone like right here. How's the connection, by the way? Maybe I'll have to redo this live. Great. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm using a VPN right now, and I'm a little ways. Right now, I'm in Studio Preston, so this is where we're recording the audiobook. So there's a microphone. There's another microphone. I got a sheet on the ceiling. Got a couple of blankets, and yeah. So might have a bad connection to the router, but yeah. Let me know if the connection's bad. How's everybody doing today? I hope it's a beautiful day where you are. You are a legend. Thank you for being fantastic. Thanks, Bear and Bluebird. I appreciate that. I'm just read 2 hours of the audiobook today and feeling pretty good. But yeah, thanks, Bear. If you have any questions or anything, just let me know. Just diving into the world of MTG for the first time this week. First time ever? Have you ever played any other collectible card games? And it's a little hot in Studio Preston. It's a little hot. Oh, cool. So what format are you going to play? Pokemon and still do. Cool. Well, you should be able to transfer your skills over. Oh man, I'm gonna kick my shoes off. Get some bare feet action. Shakira. Sweet. Hope Costa Rica is living up to expectations. Yeah, like overall, it's good. Shakira's new song rocks. I can't believe she's still around. That's wild. Yeah, Costa Rica is overall, it's doing good. The only thing that's probably not doing very great sometimes is me, but I'm toughing through it and yeah, learning more and more, and just doing better. Like, yeah, it's tough. Doing audiobooks tough too. I was doing all right, but it's like this is kind of tough. I could see why maybe a lot of people would get somebody else to read their book for them. Um, yeah, it can be tough. I'm glad we've spent a pretty good amount of money to do this professionally because it's crazy to do an audiobook. Finley, hey dude, you're awesome. Love your content. Thanks, Finley. Really appreciate that. What's your biggest great work for spreading awareness? You're welcome. Biggest challenge is probably like it's some of the stuff that it's hard to explain in a way like because I don't have, the kind of stability that I would have in Canada, mainly like having a job. So when you don't have a job, then you have to somehow have a job without having a job. This is funny, trying to explain this. Pretty much you still need to be doing something to keep this like feeling of self-worth going. Because I find like even though you have things going on, like if you're not actively showing yourself that, hey, I'm progressing in some way, like deep down inside, you're not. Or like deep down inside, it doesn't really know logically like what you're doing is really good and it's going to pay off in the end. So just hang tough. Like it needs to be felt like you're doing something. So like going to the gym or going for a walk or like doing habits that make you feel like you're in like you have a routine, pretty like that's tough. Like when because a job really helps to give you a routine and gives you a habit that takes up a good chunk of your time. So yeah, that's been tough. So that's tough, right? And especially for me, I don't know if you call me lazy. Like I have the ability to be like ultra not lazy, but then my mind likes to like when things get really overwhelming and tough, it's like do something easy or just like shift. So yeah, just being aware of that and I don't know. I've been writing a lot of stuff down too, like just stuff that's been helping and just reevaluating like how to take care of myself, kind of thing. But anyways, yeah, you need progression to feel like you're doing well. Terrence and Phillip, that's hilarious. South Park's so funny. Yeah, so like tonight I'm actually going to draft, which is crazy. And I even put up one of my expensive cards, Spire Bluff Canal. It's like $20 US. And so I'm trying to attract people to play draft because people don't really draft here. So I'm excited to draft tonight. So I've been studying the Brothers War cards. So hopefully I do all right. But yeah, I don't know if anybody is in here who doesn't really know the channel very well. I'm Andrew, and my wife Michelle and we wrote a book about our relationship, autism, a little bit of love, and yeah. So any questions about like the book or about our adventures or Magic the Gathering, black holes, Pluto? I don't know anything really. Anything from here to the edge of the universe. Any questions? I'm gonna eat one of these crackers from Costco because these are so addicting. Mm-hmm. Wow. That's pretty good. Autistic? No, typical. Okay, I need some water. If you ever do an audiobook, make sure you have water beside you. My God. Palate cleansing is a must. Or palate wetting, I should say. Hey, Sunshine Dreamer. How can I help my son with social skills? Oh boy. Paint social situations is a good thing in a way, the best you can, and get out there and learn stuff. I guess just trying to help the person see what's special about it from their perspective. I think people try to explain things to other people based on how they see it, which it's hard. That's like 98% of probably how we try to do it. But then if you get a feel for what the other person's like, try to show them why they would like to be in a social situation or what it is. And like, I don't know, getting experience in any place can reveal things to you. And like, there's so much to learn and you'll get experience with it and make new friends. I don't know. Tell them that you'll have more friends to invite to your birthday party. That's the thing. I don't know. Something maybe more specific to the person. I'm just thinking of ultra general. But okay, I'm going to scroll up. Yeah, man, I know what you mean. Thank you for answering. You're welcome. Other way around to me and my husband. I've been wanting to know for ages, why do clothes go dark when they get wet? So I've never thought about that before. Why do clothes go dark when they get wet? The visual that I got, like I just watched it get wet and I zoomed in to the clothes and just looking at it. I mean, you probably just do this on your own, but I think it's because like clothes naturally, like they're coarse when they're dry, right? So the light isn't really refracting like perfectly. It's refracting in all of the different angles that is relative to the coarseness of the fabric. So if we get it wet, then you'll create kind of a sheen and a surface. And I think that maybe that's why. Like it's absorbing more light. Ooh. So it absorbs more light. And then that would make it look darker. Because like black, why does black get hot? Because it absorbs a lot of light. Why is your retina black? Like when you look in, it's like, oh, it's black. It's like, well, yeah, no way. Because you know that then that is absorbing lots of light. That's how we see. I don't know. That's what I postulate. That's my hypothesis. Maybe even it would create more of a flat surface to help reflect light better. So then it looks like it's darker because it's absorbing more. Anyways, all right, that's my best on that. Worst food texture? Oh man, I don't know. Like a fuzzy peach? I don't know. That's like just weird. It just feels weird. Oh, worst food texture. I don't know. Even kiwi. Kiwi can feel weird. Taking to places he can mingle with people who like what he likes. Yeah, and then that might just take off on its own. Also, everybody, I have a microphone here. Let me know. Does it sound good? Do you like it? How does Studio Preston sound? So these are all blankets. We got all 6 walls, kind of the floor. And this is where we're doing the audiobook for Friendship, Love, Autism is in here. So if it sounds good, that's why. And yeah, you're welcome, Sunshine Dreamer. Reflect less light. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, maybe, right? Who knows? We're going, do you have any tips to get into MTG in person or the app? I would start with the app. I would start with Arena and use that to learn how to play. And just keep playing that for a bit. And then like once you feel like you got it, then go to your local card shop and see what kind of events they run. And then you got to figure out what format you like. So drafting or constructed formats like Modern or Pioneer, or real social formats like Commander. And then once you figure out which one you like, go nuts. Just jump right in. Andrew, what was your job when you lived in Canada? Bear and Bluebird. I was air conditioning and refrigeration mechanic. Oh, rice pudding. Yeah, that's a weird one. I'll eat rice pudding because it's really good. But yeah, it's super weird for sure. I think the amount that it's good offsets how weird it is. I don't mind. Sounds perfect for the audiobook. Great. Yeah. And you don't hear the dogs barking or the vehicles. It's great. I have a great accommodation for your next book, or a great recommendation for your next book. I'll never do it, so I'll give you the idea for free. Okay, Jay. Our next book's about 2/3 written already, but thanks. Boo-hoo. Do you guys want more kids? We do, if life kind of permits, because we're in such a scenario that if things go really well next year, then yeah, more kids. Totally. Hey, Chad. You're from England? ADHD and autism at 17. Awesome, Chad. Well, I hope you learned something today, and I hope you feel better after you watch some of the live. If we have some great questions, I will totally answer anything. For a children's book, maybe one day we'll do a children's book. Michelle has a lot of information stored, she has a lot of ideas in her mind, and so it's about 5 books worth, including this one. I don't like fake foods, so olives kind of look like grapes. Horseradish looks creamy. Horseradish, I'm not a fan of horseradish. And olives, I detest olives. I've tried them once every several years since I was 5, and the reaction has not changed. I just don't judge people anymore. I think that's what's changed. Oh no, I do. Never mind. Just kidding. Totally kidding. Did you end up living in close to Orotina? I'm not sure. My phone's right here, so I would look it up and tell you, but it sounds familiar. Mustard looks shiny, happy, but oh no, I love mustard. So I think, what is it? If you like mustard, then you won't like, there's usually if you like this, then you won't like that. I think it's grapefruit. So I do not like grapefruit. Grapefruit makes me Oh God, just it makes me question how well I'm taking care of myself if I eat it, because it's like so bad. Um, and then I find that maybe people who like grapefruit don't like mustard. And I don't know, maybe one day I'll fund a study to see if this is a thing, but you can tell me. But yeah, grapefruit is Windex in an orange. Exactly. That's hilarious. That's so good. I don't mind sauerkraut. If it's on a hot dog, I'll totally eat it with some mustard on it. But I've never like sought out sauerkraut. Yeah. Yeah. Grapefruit is one of these polarizing fruits, I find more people like it than not. But then people who don't like it are like, yeah, you can feed that. Don't even feed that to like the animals. Just put it in the garbage. I too am a big fan of magic. Great, Casey. Well, what's your favorite format? It's close to San Mateo. I think you were considering buying a parcel in Villa something. Yeah, we're near San Ramon. We bought some land near San Ramon. And yeah, San Mateo sounds familiar too. But if these are on the Guanacaste Peninsula, then we're not near. I struggle with not taking out my overwhelmed feeling with my wife. Do you have any advice? Oh, yeah, like I don't know. Life's so tough. The more I struggle with life too, the more I'm like, oh, I need to keep writing this stuff down because it keeps unraveling. Like I've said this advice a few times is self-awareness. I keep saying this because I really like it really is like a foundation point that anchors so many things. And like if you don't have that one very well and you start to get it, that's gonna fix a lot right there. Self-awareness. And and wherever that rabbit hole takes you, but the thing is it takes time for it to kind of kick in, and it's a bit of work because you have to kind of like redo all your habits because you're like, well, okay, gotta like slow down, what's happening? And try to be objective, like while your rocket ship is taking off. You're like, don't let it take off so quick. Slow down. Hold on. Slow down. What's happening? And then also like the more you become self-aware, it naturally guides you to being more like nicer to yourself, more understanding, and more calm and peaceful. And then again, those things just anchor you, right? But it's very hard, and I struggle with it. But I find that it has the most potential to help you. Grapefruit, I personally think should not have a place on the Earth's object list. Chad, yeah, that's what I mean, right? That's so funny. And then people will like ask you like, would you like some grapefruit? And you're like, no, but you don't do that. Don't ever react like that. Just politely say, no, thank you. But your mind just gets triggered. And then you're self-aware enough not to be like, why would you offer me that? Like, why are you, that's offensive. So, yeah. Example, when I'm out shopping or a day out and something doesn't go right, Pioneer, it's a 60 cards. I enjoy Commander and any type of limited. Oh, cool, Casey. Yeah, me too. I'm waiting to build a Pioneer deck. And right now I have a modern deck that I'm working on. And I like to draft. I'm drafting tonight. It should be fun. Time to yourself. Me and Hub speak about stuff after a break. Yeah, there you go, Vicky. There's some more specific good info. That's a tough one too. Like being able to slow down and then think, okay, we can't do this now. We will reconvene in 2 to 7 days. Maybe not even tomorrow, depending upon, right? We also use WhatsApp to communicate sometimes, which helps even when home. Oh, okay. Like right? Like that's the thing. There's so many tools. That's really neat. So you're in separate rooms and you use WhatsApp because it has a naturally like, I want to say tranquilizing. Like it stops you from getting too much feedback and ramping and spiraling. If you're in front of someone, it can always feel intense. And there's so much feedback happening in the moment with the tone of your voice, like body language, everything. And when you're on edge, you're so much easier to read signs like body language, verbal cues wrong. So then it like so yeah, so talking over WhatsApp, even in the same house, you get rid of all of that and it's like these are just my words. It's probably 10 times harder to misunderstand what I'm saying. And if you do misunderstand, then just be like, what do you mean? So that's a really neat idea, Vicky. I really like that. Self-awareness. Thank you. I'll work on that. Fantastic. Good luck, Bear. And yeah, that WhatsApp idea is really neat. Super neat. Any suggestions to help regulate anger? This is Chad. This is a good one. I think in the last month, I've probably held about 15 of these lives, and I think I've rattled off like 5 minutes on anger, like 3 separate times, 3 5 minute like straight to raids. So I'll just use what I said a moment ago, like that self-awareness thing. You can use that with anger too. And then maybe even what Vicky said too, right? Like talking over WhatsApp. Like that's gonna like if you need to talk but you're angry, you could use WhatsApp. Or if you're on the path to getting angry, you could use WhatsApp with the person you're trying to talk to, just to slow it down and take the edge off of a conversation that could cause liftoff. But yeah, like a lot of these things, you really just you keep working on it, and it's hard to be specific, right? Because I always bring up self-awareness because it's very general and it pays off huge, and it's something that you can work on that like it improves your life no matter what. But then with your situation too, there might be some specific things, but like learning what triggers you and then figuring out why, and then being patient with all of this too. That's the hardest part, is like self-care isn't like I need to fix myself. Self-care is like I need to give myself space. Period. Line down. And then fixing myself will happen as a result or as a consequence or as a byproduct. Yeah, no pressure on it. Same room sometimes, yes. It's specific, yes. Reduces overload. Yeah, that's the like when I'm thinking about it and visualizing it, I'm like, ooh, yeah, WhatsApp to chat even when you're in the same house as the person you want to talk to, if it can, for it to slow down the conversation. Love it. Can we get some more MTG content, Barrett? Yeah, I don't know. Like I could film some stuff and maybe get Michelle to put it on. I should, yeah, because I think I have some things I could film that I've been doing. I put one video on my channel on Michelle and Andrew and Michelle 2.0. And yeah, I haven't really been uploading. It's been a tough month and a half. And so like I've been just getting through it and figuring things out. So yeah, should probably do more of that. It's a good idea. Can go both ways, can also make it more complicated. Make a TikTok about anger. Okay, Vicky. Yeah, I'll just be like, here's my TikTok. Just look at that one. Yeah, that's the thing, is like there's so many tools and there's so many ideas. Like use WhatsApp to, to do this. But then our relationships are so idiosyncratic. Like they're so specific and nuanced that you really have to work sometimes to figure out what tools work. And it's hard. But yeah, you keep trying. And when you find them, though, you're like, yes, that works. Oh, my God, I won't forget that. You are so similar to my daughter. She is now 23. I love your education. Oh, thanks, Gabriella. Thank you. WhatsApp helps around kids, too. Oh, that's fun. You're like, should we go get ice cream? No, Andrew. I think we should go get ice cream. I'm going to tell Faith, and then we're going to go. No, I'm just kidding. Good idea, Vicky. Yeah, thank you. I tend to hold it and sort of offload it all at once, either punching something or shouting at someone. Yeah, so then you know that, yeah, maybe you're holding it in, right? And so it's like, so then, and that's the thing, it takes self-awareness to like kind of guide you. So yeah, build self-awareness and then notice what's causing you to get tight or what's causing you to feel that. Yeah, and then I feel bad and I end up in a spiral. Oh yeah, it's a feedback. Like I think one of the issues is it's so hard, it's so easy to fall into feedback loops. I wonder if a part of that is because our communities and societies are so disjointed. That's just my speculation or my hypothesis. Because I find like, I used to use a psychologist very, very, very often when I was having tough times, and they would always help me to put things into perspective. So like if you're starting to feel like you're getting tense, is there someone you can talk to who will tell you like, oh, you're getting tense, and then like help you through it, or just help you kind of figure it out, or you figure it out on your own, yeah, something to figure it out. And then you figure out like what's causing it. And then is it something I can change? And should I change it? Like, can I change it? How do I change it? Fun times, super fun times. We'd love to see you actually draft. Yeah, I don't know. It's always awkward like when I'm there because when I'm drafting, I'm very focused. So having like a camera, something happening, and then if I'm doing it, I don't know. I think it would kind of sour my experience. But that being said, like I can think about it and maybe I'll try to recreate. I don't know. I could try and do something with that. It's a neat idea. Still working on it and an amazing relationship 10 years in. That's great, Vicky. I'm glad to hear that. My daughter always tells the truth, even if you want to hear it. Is that my daughter always tells the truth, even if you don't want to hear it? Is it the same with you? Yeah. And then sometimes I can be maybe a little vulgar or abrasive or like sometimes like when I was younger, I would be a bit callous, you could say sometimes. So my grandfather said, Andrew, you're being very uncouth. And I'm like, what does that mean? Look it up. Oh, he's right. Damn. So I think the hard part for me was I would feel like I want to be honest and then would come out in a way that's not very nice as well. And then that's really bad. So now I'm more aware and it doesn't come out, in a negative way. I try to be aware of like, if I want to tell someone the truth, like I've created several filters, right? That's what it feels like. It's like, is this going to make them feel bad? Are you going to feel bad after you say this? Like, is it the right moment? Because my timing is so bad. My timing is so bad. Yeah, bad timing. Yeah, Michelle, and then I watch Michelle go through life, and I'm like, man, she has good timing relative to my bad timing. So I trust her when she tries to help me through these. So I have to remember, is this the right time to say this? It's like, Andrew, don't bring this up before bed. And I'll bring up something heavy before bed, maybe about the person, like about Michelle or about an ex, like in previous relationships. And I never realized like that I'm really messing with flow and I'm really messing with the moment. So yeah, I do that too. Hope that helps you understand your daughter. Twan, hey man, how you doing, Twan? I see your videos every now and then, man. It's still so super cool to see you, buddy. I hope you're doing well. And long live soap. Yeah. Yeah, Twan's a cool cat. Check out his channel. He makes soap and his charisma, enthusiasm, and was it verbosity? Oh, it makes for very, very entertaining watches. Would recommend. I also never know what the right time is to say. Yeah, winning dad. Yeah, no, I'm learning this. I think I have a hypothesis, like, because I don't know, it just feels this way. But I think neurotypicals are just people who are more attuned to these emotional rhythms or these things. That's where they get their cues for timing. And like, I don't really have that. So I've had to learn it from just brutal experience. And so you just keep stacking those experiences. And then it's almost like you just keep drawing an outline of like what not to do. And then you're like, oh, I have the whole picture now. oh, this makes actual sense. The really cool thing is when you do it that way, you can write a lot about it because you felt every inch of why you don't or do or should do something because you've been through hell to get there. I drive myself nuts with those filters. Yeah, and then sometimes, okay, so here's the fun part, Tuan. I hope you're still here. So what is it? Was it balance in all? No, oh God. There's a quote here. Anyways, sometimes you also need another filter. This filter comes in every now and then, and this specific filter is the filter that says no more filtering, just go. And every now and then you need to just be like, oh, do I need that filter? Oh, something like that. That's funny. Yeah. Oh, there's a good quote that I'm totally forgetting. But anyways, gotta go get some sleep. See you later, Bear. Appreciate your advice and grateful for you in this account. Oh, that's great. Thank you. Yeah, my missus says I make her lose sleep sometimes with questions that are heavy. But yes, so Spider Dog, right? So as a soft guideline to help you, I'm like doing an outline of like as if I'm a picture or something. Like, because otherwise, if you keep making those mistakes, then yeah, you can really self-sabotage, right? It's tough. But if you use this guideline, like, so here's a filter to add to your filter stack. 9 out of 10 times, it's just not a good time. So reevaluate this whole thing as if only 10% of the time it might be good. Like, or that's something that I would use as a very, yeah, just as a filter to like get you to think more, right? Like, the vast majority of the time, what you want to do in this scenario is incorrect. So spend a few minutes right now, meditate on it, just think about it. Is this a heavy subject? Will this subject cause overthinking or a conversation? Could it last a half an hour? And then shut it. And then usually like that 9 out of 10 times, you just go to a boogie board or something and you're just like, ask Michelle this tomorrow, or bring this up later. I must also say I agree with the sock folding. Great, Chad. That's awesome. The effort filter. Yeah, you got it. Like, but you really got to, you really got to like pump the brakes on that one. Cause it's kind of it's like when you know you're filtering too much, then you gotta just break some filters. Just no more filtering. It's like it's time to learn the hard way, and I'm down because I'm causing myself. It's not worth it enough at this point. So just go. It's all good. I'd say you're awesome, but if they are here, they should already know that. Thanks, Tuan. Oh man, thanks, buddy. You too. And I wish you all the best, man. All the best. It's always great to see you. At funeral with grandma, a funny and inappropriate joke popped in my head, was able to keep quiet. Yeah, that's kind of it. Yeah. And I'm really bad for actually saying the inappropriate joke. Like, man, and it's crazy how many times I can do this and not really learn. It's almost like rather than this being like a linear trend up, it's just like, oh God, what's the fun data word for that? Like, it's just a lateral trend sideways. And it's like, well, he's getting lots of experience. It's not helping, but he's getting lots of experience. And then maybe one day you'll be like, oh, that's not good. And then like your whole lateral trend just does this. And you're like, that's what I was supposed to learn. Oh God, life's a barrel of monkeys, man. I feel like I'm in there sometimes. When my dad passed, she was really sad. 10 minutes later, she asked me what we will have for dinner. Yeah, that sounds like, getting really old. Yeah, hopefully there's someone awesome to take care of us when we get to that point. They should be. Betsy, but sometimes I perseverate? That's a fun word. On the subject until I can't get it out. Yeah, I would go read Anne of Green Gables. If you can't get it out. Go for a walk. Go to bed. Like if you can, don't do it to like ignore it too. That's the hardest part. Because then as soon as you realize like I'm just reading to ignore something, damn, I fed it more energy. But then if you create enough momentum where like, you accept it, then you can get out of it. But sometimes you do need to like process it still. So you can like take a break and go read some Anne of Green Gables. But then when you feel better, then you can come back to processing it from a different point of view. You're more refreshed. Oh God, that makes a lot of sense. Holy crap. Because that's how it feels. Sometimes you're like I'm so messed up from this subject matter. I can't think straight. But my mind is so scared, or my mind is so scared or fearful that it feels it's imperative that I sort this out right now. Yeah. Go read some Anne of Green Gables because you're screwed. You don't have the capacity to come to a solid conclusion yet. So then just write it down. Okay, I should write this stuff down. Write it down and come to it the next day. Because so often, if you have a good night's sleep, like a solid 8 hours, you wake up and you're like, why did I care about any of that? Oh, God, life really isn't that bad. Okay, all right. Why? 8 hours. Yeah, right on. Okay, anyways. But sometimes people who know me now say if they want my opinion or the truth when they ask me something. Yeah, me too. We cut down birdhouses to make more birdhouses. There you go. Yeah, you burn the candle at both ends. You got to balance. Do I need to filter more for their comfort or less for my mental health? Exactly. Yeah. That's it. It's tough. It's nice. Like I think one of the ways you know that you're lifing really well is when you have like friends and family and like a community where after several days or several weeks or several months, you realize, oh, I haven't worried about stuff, or like I haven't had to go into my mental health toolkit like a tenth as much as I used to. I'm in a good place, right? And like I don't know, that's one of those like those kind of things that give you feedback to know like I'm doing good. What's changed? It's like, well, you worked on yourself and you got maybe some like toxic things in your life you dealt with and put it inside of a mountain and covered it up, or I don't know. And then life gets better. I was recently diagnosed. It's fun. It is fun. And I'm glad you have that perspective. I thought it was fun and awesome to keep learning about this stuff. And keep on going. Is the book also available in Europe? Gabriella. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on .co.uk. Amazon.co.uk. And so you should be able to get it over there. Betsy, yes, you understand. Cool. God, awesome. Glad I nailed that. Sometimes I know I can do something, but I can't set myself to do it. So frustrating. Yeah, that's a fun one. It's so hard to describe that one sometimes. I find like it's almost like you just go jump off the board, but then you can't say that to someone and expect it to be like the answer at all. But then in the moment, though, when you've done it, it kind of feels like that. You're like, well, what changed between the time when I accepted that feeling and then did not continue, or when I just did and kept going? It's like, well, you just go. You like, or for me, sometimes I'll have to like get it to a certain point where it makes enough sense and it feels like it's a net positive, something like that. And then and then the resistance to doing it goes down. And then sometimes I just need to just do it. Knowing which filter to put in is the important thing there. Write it down. Good idea. Yeah, Betsy. I've been writing down a journal for about 3 years, 2.5, 3 years now. I'm at about 150 pages. And I'm thinking that there's so much info in it, like good info, maybe more specific to me, or you could say, I think I need to make it into a collage of like bubbles. And I don't know, I'm gonna have to spend a few weeks one day and like print out all 150, get some scissors, get some glue, and just make this massive collage. Maybe it'll be like 4 feet by 4 feet almost like a ladder logic diagram or something like that, where if you feel this way, go here. If you feel that way, go there. And then having these chunks of like maybe 50 words, 25 words, for like 2 paragraphs. I don't know, because it's so hard to remember all the good stuff you learned, especially when times are hard and your capacity is just like that. And you're like, what was all the good stuff again? I can't say, oh, no, I'm here. Where's the book? We also cut down trees to make fences to stop people from cutting down trees. Oh, these are fun. This is like, what is it? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Yeah, they're fun. They're fun logic experiments. Like I don't know if they're true to a huge time, like from a long time perspective, but they're fun to like see that feedback loop. I just recently found out I was autistic. I'm 18. My dad said they had me tested when I was a kid, but call me LJ. Yeah, I was tested in 92, and Asperger's as a diagnosable like mental condition didn't come out till 94. So I missed the boat by 2 years. Fun times. He didn't tell me, so I didn't use it as a lazy tool. As a kid, but he didn't tell me, so yeah, I know. So call me LJ. That's what's tough is when you're growing up, if you're not diagnosed, you might be like, I'm lazy, I'm dumb, like I don't have, and then that's the ultra low resolution answer, right? And it's so hard on yourself. And then if other people see it that way or agree with that and see you like that, that's even harder in a way. So then learning more about your condition helps you to feel better about like, well, I'm not lazy, like in that ultra narrow general sense. It's just under certain conditions, I struggle, and then the struggle comes out. It might be misunderstood as being lazy. So fun times. Fun times. Oh, Twan, I'm out. Have fun. See you, Twan. See you, buddy. You're probably already gone, but yeah. Yeah, it is. I ordered one today. What did you order? I don't filter anymore. It's been quite refreshing. Lost lots of friends, but gained strong ones too. Winning Dad. I don't know if it's available in the Netherlands, Winning Dad. I don't know. Yeah, but like it's on Amazon. So I don't know if you try some of the Amazons within the European Union, like maybe one of them has it. I don't know. Yeah, but let me know if you figure something out. Like I'm sure you could easily get the audiobook, right? Like from Amazon and like CAUK.com, right? But then to get the physical copy, that might be a challenge. So yeah, sorry about that. Hey, Vienna. Sweet. Hi, Vienna. How you doing? My brain is like walking through a maze of beans that came from a toaster that grew on a giraffe. Sweet. Yeah, good visual. Yeah, I think like Chad, in a way, like that's kind of how the ego and the mind works, right? It's just, I think one natural, and there's probably research done in this, and I'm just going to talk in the way that I feel it and that I see it. So it's just, this is my opinion. But like, it feels like being human, there's a part of our minds just constantly churning out info that's actually important to like being human. Because if it were actually just blank, it's like there's a rock falling on you. And then you just start to like analyze what's happening rather than reacting. So it almost feels like having this bean toaster giraffe, like it's almost like, I wish I had a good metaphor for this because it's so fun. It's like the mind does this because it's always preemptive for anything. But then it can get really hairy when we're like trying to be human, like here and now. And it's like, okay, slow down. Like enough with the beans, toaster, giraffe stuff. Like I need to focus. Zoe, had a really tough day today outside of my routine. Hope you're having a better day. Yeah, like things are getting better, and I hope your day gets better. And yeah, routine, very important. But sometimes struggling is where you can learn some bits of gold too. So on your way back to routine, I hope you find some good nuggets. That giraffe grew from a mushroom in on an alien planet. There you go. Yeah. Hopefully you can feel a bit better. Yeah, there you go. Carolina, how's everything going? Glad your book is doing great. Are you guys going to see the taupe in Palmares? I don't know. What is the taupe? Call me LJ. Oh, excuse me. Thank you, sir. It's cool to have an adult understand. Wow. When I was a kid, I felt that too. I would hear people talk and not always, but it would always feel off, and few people I would hear, and it would feel refreshing, like they got it or they said something great. And even till this day, like I've only met maybe a few dozen people in my entire life where I hear them talk and I'm like, I dig this person as close to 100% as ever. But yeah, so often when I'm a kid and I have real questions, not just like abstract questions about just like more, just questions about life and whatnot. So often people really try to answer you with their ego and not give you the right answer, but it's their right answer. And when I learned that helped me to not judge and respect people more, because they're just doing the best they can with what they've learned and what they have. It's not that they're wrong, and it's not like they're trying to misguide you, because I would feel like I'm kind of being misguided sometimes, but they're just telling you how they see it. But when you are determined and hell-bent on like an objective answer, there's very few people in the world who will try to give you like try to be honest with you in, and unbiased and without their ego, and it's hard. And at its core, I'm only an amalgam of like all my experiences and like myself, right? So no matter what you do, it's always kind of biased. But anyways, that's a fun one. That's a fun one to talk about, because I know I felt that too, LJ. And yeah, it's good stuff. Hey, I've just been diagnosed and feel very alone. Do you have any tips for me? So local autism support groups. If you're near a city or metropolitan area, like finding the local autism, like I want to say group, but this like there might be an office or somewhere to call to get info. They might even have support groups, and there might be assistance there too. But yeah, and then places like this, hang out. Yeah. So I'd start there, and then they would give you resources to help you keep going. I started folding my socks because of you. Oh, that's so funny, Nate. Yeah. And when Michelle asked me that, I didn't even know I did that. Like I did, but it was so subconscious that I'd never like stopped and analyzed it enough to like know exactly why I do this. So that was super cool to learn that. I think I can get it from Amazon. Sweet winning, Dad. That's great. It really does keep them from scrunching down. Yeah, Nate, right? That's what I realized too. It's like, that's why I do this. Glad your book is going great. Have you guys seen today's taupe in Palmares? No, what's the taupe? Okay, so right now we're in Studio Preston. So I'll show you. So like there's a blanket here, there's a sheet above on the ceiling, there's another blanket here, and then there's a couple of microphones. So we're actually recording the audiobook like this week in this laundry room. so yeah, the audiobook should be out in like 3 to 4 months, like 3 months maybe. And yeah. How do I get tested? Always told I have a lot of autistic tendencies, and I've noticed a lot too. At the back of our book, we talk a lot about like the diagnosis that I went through, and there are some online like questionnaires you can do to kind of give you an idea. And then like I would, like I said a moment ago about like contacting your local resource for autism, so in the nearest city or town, and then they can help guide you to like what the best course of action is where you are. Because I managed to get into a program where it was free for my adult diagnosis for autism. So So if you can find something like that, that'd be great. Otherwise, sometimes it can cost a bit of money to get a psychologist. If you do go that way, I would recommend a psychologist that specializes in autism. Most of Europe can order your book via Amazon. I will do soon. Oh, Winning Dad, thanks for telling me that. Okay, sweet. Most of Europe can order your book via Amazon. Winning Dad, which Amazon is it? Yeah, thanks so much. Chad, I'm sorry. I've just started chemo for the second time and I've decided to just out myself out there. Good luck, Chad. I wish you all the best. Like, I hope you make it through it and keep on keeping on, man. It's like a free horse parade while an exhibition with local and exotic European horses. Cool. That's pretty neat. I don't think we're going there today. We have a bit going on. I'm drafting tonight and Friday tomorrow. I'm probably chatting with a friend tomorrow. Maybe this weekend. Keep it in mind. But yeah, sorry to hear that, Chad. I hope you I really wish you all the best. Like, it's my third round, so won't see decent results for about 2 weeks, but hopefully, yeah. Yeah, man. Jenny of the North. Hey, how's it going? Studio Preston. Yeah, that's it. And it sounds good. Only 3 interruptions in 1 hour, 40 minutes today. So that was great. And on the other side of this wall is a door. And on the other side of the door, I have cardboard completely covering the door. And then there's a window over here. And then a blanket behind this blanket over the window. And then on the other side of the window, there's cardboard. Taupe is like a horse parade. Cool, Eric. That's so sweet. Rooting for you. Hope you have a great recovery. Yeah, man. Yeah. I hope so too. So how you been, Jenny? How's everything going? Oh boy. Okay, it's time for a cracker. So good. I need to drink more. This feels like one of those peanut butter commercials. Get back to where? You're in Southern Ontario, right? Sweet. Yeah, any questions, everybody? Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that, Jenny. Yeah, I hope you feel better soon and you grieve well and you can get through it. Hey, Manuel, how you doing? Yeah, Kitchener, cool. You know, Kitchener used to be called Berlin, but then during World War II, it was changed to Kitchener. I think he was a World War I general, like Canadian general, or some kind of military figure. Anyways, random info for you. You're sounding crisp in your marshmallow room. Oh, great. Like, do you notice that the microphone is working? Oh, Emmanuel, like, does this... I'm so excited. Does this actually sound better than all the other lives you've seen, Emmanuel? It's super German here. Yeah, that's the thing. So Kitchener used to be called Berlin, just before before World War II, and that's why, right? So cool. They should put it back to Berlin. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't know, but World War I general. Cool, Chad. Sweet. 1000%. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna do this from now on. You know what else is crazy? On the last few lives, a few people have said, like, Andrew, you look really good. Wow. Like, your face looks great. You're radiating. Yeah, that's because TikTok automatically puts smooth effect on you to 60%. Whoa. And then I turned it all the way down to 0, and I'm like, ooh, I'm a little more bumpy. So I turned it off. So right now, like, this is actually me. But I noticed, like where my eye crease is, it's like, oh, smooth on? I don't look like I only got 6 hours of sleep last night. Smooth off? Ooh, I just aged 7 years. And then there's this vanity part of my mind that's like, you should keep it on. You look good. And it's like, well, how good do you want it? Like, just turn it off. You can do some ASMR content. What's ASMR? Living here has made me realize I don't like German food. How come? Like, What's German food? What is that like? What's your favorite Magic card? Oh, I don't know. Like as a Timmy, Emmercool, and I actually have one in my Enchantress deck, and I'm super excited to actually play it. That'd be fun. I don't know. Like Black Lotus is just neat because it's like so powerful, and I like that I didn't realize how powerful Black Lotus was until like 8 years after I started playing Magic. Like I really didn't appreciate just how absolutely undeniably powerful Black Lotus was. So I always knew that it was the most expensive and rare card. So it's like that's the card everybody knows. But then the fact that I didn't know why for so long, it's like, oh yeah, like I would love to have that card in every deck, every deck. So yeah, maybe Emmercool, Black Lotus. Um, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of cards that are just so like when you play them, you're like, that was fun. I really enjoyed that. Well, off the top of my head, I think those two. If you don't mind me asking, how are you with food, textures, and stuff? Um, I'm not too bad. Like my issues with food were just if food looked just like fruit and vegetables, if it doesn't look perfect, then I don't want to eat it. And if its texture isn't like what I know should be its texture or its taste isn't, then it's like instant turn off. Like don't want it. Push it away. What's your favorite art on any Magic card? Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. There's some, oh God, is it Dominaria? The lands from, okay, so from a nostalgia standpoint, the lands from like third edition, fourth edition, well, like from Alpha Beta, third edition and fourth edition, like those lands, those are so nostalgic that art just brings me back. So I bought 5 beta lands, one of each. And yeah, those are great. I don't know. There are like a handful of really cool ones. Oh God. Those ones have like that nostalgia, and that nostalgia is a pretty strong feeling. There's just so many cards. Like the Eldrazi, I really like their cards because they just feel larger than life. Like Kozilek, when you see it, you're like, you know that's like a 70-foot skyscraper, and you're like, that's intense. And I have one, so it's fun. Oh, I'm really racking my brain. I don't know. Yeah, if one comes to me though, I'll say it. Oh God. Yeah, and I think just that those lands, and then a handful of like other land art. And I want to say that there's some land art. I think it was Dominaria that looked really beautiful. Like the plains just looked like I want to retire there when you would look at the art. Or yeah, they just look so nice. I think those original mountains. I think those are some of the best looking mountains. I might be biased because of nostalgia. I just built a Quasar Augur of Agony commander deck, and it's brutal fun. Quasar. Oh, Quasar. So that's the uncommon from Augur of Agony. Maybe I'm misunderstanding, but that's the uncommon from Streets of New Capenna, right? I think. Oh, I forget what she does, but it's powerful, and I knew whenever I was drafting, grab that card. Okay, cool. How often are you live? Like maybe more often nowadays. Like I try and go live maybe every few days, but the last week or so I haven't been on. But yeah, and this is an awkward time right now too. That I never really go live at this time, but maybe I'll start going live more at this time. It's nice to have the setup in here. It sounds really good. Have you ever seen Angelic Destiny? It's an enchantment aura. That's so nice. No, but I want to look it up, but my phone is right here. Angelic Destiny. It rings a bell too. Is there any sci-fi movie show that annoy the hell out of you? Sci-fi movie that annoys me? That's tough. Like, cause I'm willing to just let go for any sci-fi show. I don't know. Not that annoy me. Okay. Yeah. Like any sci-fi show, no, any non-sci-fi show that's trying to be a sci-fi show where I know that the physics are wrong or anything to do with with like physics or I don't know, thermodynamics, just anything where it's like if you know a bit about the subject, you know it's wrong. That starts to bug me. And when heavy liberties are taken, I'm like, I'm getting turned off, because then you know that the story's written by someone who's willing to really tweak and turn, and you're just like, oh, this tastes like grapefruit. Oh, gross. No, I'm just kidding. We talked about grapefruit earlier. If anybody's getting offended or something. Cool. Andrew, Michelle, can you provide a summary of your book? I teach many students with autism. Can I just read the back of it? Is that a way to do it? That might work. Well, let's just use the index as a guideline. So yeah, friendship, love, autism. So this is a story about Michelle and Andrew. And the first chapter is kind of a hook. And it hooks you in because Michelle starts talking about how, like, gonna get a diagnosis and oh my God, I can't believe that this is really happening. And then we just shift right back to like when we started, when we became friends, like a year and a half prior. So yeah, we met on Bumble, started hanging out, became friends, friendship beginnings. But we were friends for like a year, and then it changed to romance. So at some point, Michelle asked me out on a date, and then we were dating for about a year and a half before the diagnosis. And then, so yeah, love. So lots of stories about us. So like, there's lots of little stories about our relationship. And then Michelle talks about like the tough times living together, things that almost broke up our relationship. This is in the middle of the book. And then in chapter 15, there's a bedroom chapter. So yeah, there's these things really happened, and they're hilarious stories. Next up, and at the end of the book, it's autism. So now Michelle's brought up autism, and we're trying to get a diagnosis. So Michelle talks about how she brought it up to me. We went and got diagnosed. Michelle talks about how she started working on herself and learning about her period cycle, and how we learned about love languages. So I would recommend love languages, or the five love languages, to pretty much anybody, because it works with friends. Anyways, that's in the book too. And then the diagnosis, and then the aftermath, and then shortly after the diagnosis, and then books 2, 3, and 4, and 5 will just be a continuation after this book. So maybe I'll try and do that the next time with the book, because that works really well when I have a guideline. Trying to do it from my mind is like, oh boy, it's hard. Quasi stack. What's that? Well, I'm going to go because it's 9 p.m. here, and I'm going to start getting ready to chill. Have a good day. You too, Chad. Take care. Thanks. You're welcome. Yeah, that's the whole book in a nutshell. And yeah, it's good stuff. We're really excited that it's doing pretty good on Amazon. Except for today. We were at 0 sold today, and it's like, oh, that's a first. Should we be worried about that? Don't think so. I'm going to go live. But I think we haven't really made a lot of like viral videos. Not that you can make those like specifically, they just happen. But yeah, I know that when we make another few videos that really take off, that helps the book too, and everything will help. So yeah, fun times. I'm glad it sounds really good, because this is Studio Preston coming at you. Studio Preston. This is where we're doing the audiobook. Everyone here, go buy a copy. Do it now. Yeah. Tell your friends. Tell your parents. Tell your dog. Anybody with a credit card. I don't know. It's getting sweaty in here. There's no air movement. I asked Michelle, hey, so can we put a fan on? It's like, no, Andrew, while we're doing an audiobook, we cannot have a fan running. Like, well, look, it's getting hot in here. Yeah, I think I need to open a door for a while. I really feel like I'm in a sound chamber, though. That's what's pretty cool. Yeah, true stories. So yesterday I was practicing the audiobook. And I've never read an audiobook before, but I have read books out loud. And I made so many jokes because Michelle had already done 2 sessions that she's like, Andrew, like, you need to practice. It's going to be hard. Like, this isn't easy, Andrew. Take it seriously. But while we were doing it, we were having fun. And I was making jokes. We probably got about 7 minutes or so of like funny. There's at least 10 like short TikToks, maybe a couple of long ones that are like, they're actually really funny. It's like, if you've ever wondered audiobook bloopers, if you've ever wondered what an audiobook blooper would be, then here's a reel. So, yeah. Anyways, well, it feels like it's a new experience going live during the day. It's very different, but yeah. Anyways, if anybody's got a question about stuff or anything, I will respond to your questions while I'm looking at blankets. And we paid for 1, 2, 3 blankets, paid for that sheet. Oh, good thing we have a friend who gave us 3 big blankets. Otherwise, man, it's like a lot of extra blankets that we don't need. Yeah. Oh, and 3M hangers that you stick under the wall and you pull the tab to like remove them. I bought $40 worth of those hangers, and that's what's holding up these blankets. That's a lie. I actually have some hooks that are like driven in, and I'm using a few of those anchors. But yeah, those anchors are so versatile. Love it. Bought your book a week ago and love it. Oh, great. Smoople Dupes. Oh, that is the super fun name to say. Thank you, Smoople Dupes. And if you could give us a review on Amazon, that would be amazing. No obligation, though. But yeah, I'm so glad you're enjoying it. Michelle and I really feel like this book is going to keep going. So we're just so happy that it's doing well. WTAC, do you play Commander? I do have a Commander deck, but it's not my go-to format. Like tonight, I'm going to draft Brothers War in Costa Rica. I'm in San Ramon, and then I'll play. I bought a modern deck before I came here, and then I have a Pioneer deck that I'm tinkering with. I don't know. So the ACD3, any Dominaria remastered. So tonight is my draft, and then I think Sunday, if there's a modern tournament, I'll play that because I've been tinkering with my Enchantress deck, so I'm really excited to play that. So I probably won't get around to Dominaria Remastered, and Dominaria Remastered isn't on 17 lands, so I really like studying data and then going to draft. So yeah, I'm not super excited to draft it, but like if it were the only thing going on, I would totally go draft it. But yeah, anyways. My husband and I absolutely love watching your TikToks. Thanks, Erica. Yeah, we're gonna keep releasing more. I think in the next few weeks, now that life feels like it's kind of normal-ish, then maybe we can make some nice, awesome energy TikToks again. Because yeah, I haven't been in the best energy, but I think that's kind of par for the course when you're moving and you've bet the farm on what you're doing. It's definitely not how I usually do things, but yeah, it's fun. So yeah, that's it. You give us hope. Oh, great. Yeah, thank you. I'm trying. Sometimes I don't feel like I'm doing very well at all. And then, yeah, life keeps going, and I'm going to keep on going with it. Don't dwell on it. Yeah, that's another part of it too, right? It's tough. But yeah, we're excited. And we have about 5 other content creators who we've ordered books to. And a few of them have been doing really well. I forget his name, but he's on the spectrum and he does some really good TikToks. I think he's at 500,000 followers. And so we sent him a book. So it's going to be really exciting to see what he does for our review. And after watching some of his videos, they're really well done. Oh, I forget his name. Oh, I wish Michelle were like behind the curtain right now. Yeah, that's super exciting that someone's going to make a really awesome TikTok about our book. That'd be super cool. Yeah. Thanks, Jenny. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah. Fun times. It's funny. So I think I was talking about how the TikTok live automatically turns smooth on to 60% for you. And so when smooth was on, when this light was on, I was like, oh man. It's like, it's hard for your vanity emotion to not get a little triggered when you're like, what's this? And you start dialing the smooth down and you're like, oh, that's what I really look like. Damn. And then it's like, well, I'm about to go live. Do I want to like what do you say? Put foundation on? What would be the equivalent makeup of smooth, like smoothing edges, right? And it's weird because like you actually have this like internal dialogue. Like moments before I went live and I pressed the button to go live, I'm like, do I need like smooth has been on every time I've been live. I didn't know, and I'm like, do I leave smooth on? Like I look better. Whoa, I never have this conversation with myself. This is and then I would like sit there with it like this is vanity. How this is you interacting with vanity. So what's up? And then I'm like, well, okay, well I started messing with it and I'm like, well, okay, it's 60. Yeah, it looks pretty good. And then I put it to 100. I'm like, I look like anime. Okay, back to 60. And then it's like, hey, this feels too arbitrary. Like do I pick 20? Do I pick fit? Like, no, just pick 0. And then it's like, hey, that's enough of the vanity emotion for today. Let's go live now. It's too funny to not be real sometimes because like you're sitting there, right? And it's like this is life, right? This is life happening right in front of you. I don't often really hang out with vanity. Like I am what I am, right? And some people say like, oh, you look really handsome, look really good. Like, thank you. Okay, cool. Andrew seems to look handsome, seems to look good. But then me trying to like increase that or like alter that, like I don't really have those conversations, right? So then when I have this little micro moment where I'm like, oh, I can tinker with my thing. It's hilarious. It is so funny. Anyways, then being real is absolute best. Real people with real issues. Yeah. And I'll talk that way about, more or less anything, really. It's like, yeah, got depressed yesterday. It's like, or like, yeah, had a great day yesterday. And then you kind of know why. Ooh, if you're ever going to do an audio book, I'll get your question in one sec. So yesterday, I just read over everything once. Just once. I read it all out loud. And then it's funny, whenever you write a book or whatever, like, or just whenever you write something and you have to pronounce, like perform it as a speech, you notice there's tongue twisters and there's little landmines with how you wrote it. When you read it with your eyes, they're not there. But when you start to say it, you're like, oh, that was hard to say, or that sounds funny, and you can change it. So the difference between reading content you've already read, like practiced, and then reading content that like, I haven't read this since I wrote it. Like I haven't read this since the book was last edited, which was like 3-4 months ago. Oh man, I had such a harder time to put flavor on the sentences and to make them like sound good. I was told it sounded fine, but I could feel it, like the time that I had to know that, okay, in the next few words, put a little bit of emotion there, like accentuate this word, slow down here, man. So study your book before you read it, and man, you do so much better. Holy crap. Okay, questions. Do you ever feel like people always tell you how you feel instead of let you figure it out? Yeah, I think I have a few people. Okay, so I'm going to be biased. I know what you mean, but I'm going to be biased when I answer your question because a handful of the people that I talk to, oh, I can still sit cross-legged in this chair. This is great. A handful of the people that I talk to let me feel how I feel, right? And I don't talk to a lot of people about certain things because I have a handful of people that I go to. But then throughout life, yeah, there are going to be people who don't kind of give you space. right? And then I think about half an hour ago, maybe I brought up a similar topic where, like, whenever you talk to people about stuff, sometimes one of the greatest things people can do is give you those moments of space when you need it, you know? And when you're talking to someone and you can feel that, like, there's no space, yeah, like, then I know that that's the kind of conversation I have, and it's not really conducive for like, you know, certain kinds of healing or of learning, or, you know, like a certain kind of cathartic conversation. It's so much harder to have that kind of a conversation when a conversation is flowing in a way where you don't feel like there's enough room for you to be expressive, and it works both ways. So yeah, like, so find people who do that, you know, where when you're talking to them, you give them space, and then they give you space. Like, it feels like it's reciprocal, right? And you're flowing. So, any tips for a partner of someone with ASD on how to nicely ask them to be more introspective? Yeah. A partner of someone, how to nicely ask them. I don't know. Like Michelle talks about this in the book, right? When she brought it up with me, but everybody's story is a bit different. Like, I don't know. It really depends. You know, you would just always never try and frame it in a way that, you know, that would make them feel like there's pressure, unless there has to be pressure for some reason. That's tough, man. Like, you just have, I think patience would be a huge thing, because you might have to just nudge over time, you know, and then maybe over time it can happen. Or I'm trying to think, it's so tough, because I know I've had a few people on TikTok who are like some people just don't want to deal with that, right? And I think maybe I can just loop this into self-awareness, because, like, once you develop self-awareness, then it's harder to just shut off in a way. Like, or like say it's like, Andrew, I think you might be on the spectrum. Nope, don't want that. Okay. And then 6 months later, Andrew starts to practice self-awareness. Andrew, I think you might be on the spectrum. Like, now you're aware, like, am I, or do I trust this person? Right. Like, there's more, I think there's a higher chance of just, of not letting that instant feeling, like, just shut you down. Right. Yeah, or live without a label. If you think you might have autism as an adult, do you think it's worth getting a diagnosis? Live without a label. I always slightly lean towards getting a diagnosis, but, like, it's not an absolute. But yeah, they're ringa felony. Yeah, so just do it the best you can, not to offend them. But then maybe not putting the microscope on the thing you want them to look at, but then maybe, like, promoting self-awareness. I don't know, right? And then slowly nudging them towards the microscope, or towards the thing that you're trying to get them to look at. Super tough stuff, man, right? I think you need all the patience and all the love in the world too, like, if it's a very difficult circumstance. So good luck. I gotta go. Send my love to Michelle and Faith. I will. Thanks, Jenny. Brock, I feel like I give delayed answers to peeps, but don't know how to say it takes a minute to process, so they think I'm not listening to them. Yeah, that's tough. I don't know, like, the first idea that comes to mind is, you know, then just they'll have to learn who you are. Or you would have to be a certain way around people who are actually who are maybe who don't like that about you. You know, like, it's nice when, or you just tell them, right? Like, when I was working up north, and when I was working for a company in Calgary. Like I told my employer like that I'm pursuing a diagnosis, Asperger's diagnosis or autism. You right, just to kind of keep in the loop of like what I'm doing, and then I have to be aware of like, does he need to be educated? And then I need to bring the education into that moment too. How is this moment going? If it doesn't go good, then I probably shouldn't work there. So then you tell the people like, about you and about how you work. And, if they don't get that, then, well, that like they're not really your people to that level. And then to what extent, like how you should handle that situation. It's like, well, I've told you how I am, and like that's what I need, and like, yeah, like that's what I have to do. So I don't know. Lots of scenarios are very specific. I got diagnosed 3 years ago, age 37. I do think it's worth it. Yeah, Jen. That's why I think overall it is. Thank you for your advice. You remind me so much of my partner, and you guys have helped me so much. Oh, you're welcome. Oh my God, this book, HT. Thanks. Yeah. I'm kind of promoting it and then kind of just hanging out, chatting, and all this fun stuff. So take care, Joe. It's late here, heading off. Take care. Have a good night. Oh boy. Fun times. Will you be book touring? I'd love to come to Costa Rica. I don't know, maybe one day. I don't think so though. It's not on the agenda yet, but possibly one day. We'll see. Yeah, we are doing an audiobook. So this is the studio. Like here, there's the microphone that you hear me from. There's the one for the audiobook. That's the water to palate cleanse because that's important for. And then, yeah, covering the ceiling. Got another blanket here. Like all 6 walls have a blanket or something over it. So yeah, that's why it sounds so good right now. Nice chair. We should play MTG one day. Sure, Oscar. Is this Oscar from like who offered me the vehicle? People always think that tours are cheap and they really aren't. Oof. Yeah. So Brock, it's funny. Like, yeah, I think if we ever do a tour, it's because we're already succeeding. Like we've already made it, and we wouldn't do it because to be honest, like I think TikTok is as good or better than touring, right? And we really can't uproot our situation to be mobile. So yeah, do yourself soundproofing. You got it. When is the audiobook expected to be released? Probably about 3 months. I did my first run. I read about a third of the book. So all of Andrew's take. So I read about a third of Andrew's takes today in about an hour and 40 minutes. Yeah, Brock, exactly. Zach, have you tried MTG Arena? Yeah, I've played it a bit, and I mainly use it as a tool to study if I use it. Torta Chilena. Oh, Oscar, I remember that. Oh, thanks. Yeah, that was delicious. Oscar introduced Michelle and I to Torta Chilena. It's delicious. How does your partner get you to try new things, like new clothes styles? Oh, she just does. I don't know. Like, it doesn't take much to get me. Like, I trust Michelle. I love Michelle. And I really trust, like, I'm aware of the degrees to which I trust her judgment. So, like, yeah, if she tells me, hey, you should wear this, I'm like, okay. And then if I say no, she's okay. And then, but a part of me knows, like, probably something to what she said. Maybe I should keep that in mind. Yeah. So it's not hard to twist my arm. My son and husband have the same jorts. Yeah, they're so comfortable. Except they're about 23 years too late. But I still like them, and I wear them probably too often. Do you ever have issues presenting things as fact when your partner wants emotion or sympathy? Yeah, for sure. But then Michelle usually doesn't really tell me, or Michelle kind of just has accepted certain things, I guess. But like when Michelle needs something, she usually tells me. But on that topic, Zach, that's a really funny one, because about 2.5 years ago is when I learned that, like, my whole life, like, especially like women, like when a woman, someone that maybe I'm courting or not, I don't even know, like I didn't even know I was being hit on. I think I'm better at that, noticing that now. But I didn't know my whole life I was being hit on. I just thought women wanted to talk to me, but I wouldn't know. Um, Whenever someone would ask me a question, like a woman or anybody, like, I didn't know that sometimes they don't want me to try to fix their problem, or they don't want me to like analyze what they said. Like, or if I am, just to a small degree. The big thing is they just want to hear me, and they just want me to listen, and then maybe reciprocate really base emotions, base sympathy, base empathy, right? But not like, but I'm a troubleshooter, like I'm a problem solver, I'm a logical thing. So if someone comes to me with a problem, it's like, well, you should do this, or like I'll try to figure it out for them, and that's not what they want. So that was crazy for me to hear, because that makes no sense to me. It makes more sense to me now, but it didn't make any sense to me. If someone starts talking about their breakup or about something emotional at work, right? Like, my mind always thinks, so this person wants advice, or this person wants me to help them, like actually help them figure it out. When Michelle helped me realize that women or friends or almost anybody in this situation, they just want you to hear them, and they just want you to be sympathetic. They don't want you to like take half the conversation up telling them what to do about it, or helping them like strategize for what to do next, or like teach them some, like you might hear their problem, and then you'll realize like, oh, I just watched a YouTube video on that. And then you'll just rattle off like 2 minutes straight of like what you learned. Like, they don't want to hear that. What a revelation that was. And then I think a few times I tried it and I was like, whoa. No, a few times I tried it before I learned this, but I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I knew I did something very good, but it didn't make sense. So I never really held on to it. Anyways, yeah. So how do you feel about Jumpstart? I think Jumpstart's pretty cool. Like, I think Jumpstart is a really neat way to get into Magic. And I think the fact that you can just buy a couple boosters and then like play with a couple boosters is super cool. And I always like kind of sealed formats, and I always like limited formats. So my style is pop culture shirt, jeans or basketball shorts, button up to formal, but try to avoid, because I don't like collars either. Do you have some strict rituals in your daily life? My wife is used to them, but I can imagine how. Like, not really. I think that's actually one of my problems, is like, I'm someone who thrives in routine and structure. And then at the same time, I'm also someone who struggles to really I struggle to maintain routine and structure to the degree that I think it would work best for me. And then the world tries, and then it's hard to keep it as well. But like simple things that I try to keep routine, it's like I bench on Monday, I do legs I squat on Wednesday, and I swim on Thursday, and then on Friday I bench again. Like, bench would just be a powerlifting way of saying arms, and then squat is a way of saying I do legs. I was in powerlifting for 5 years. Having that as a routine through my week helps keep me grounded beyond belief, and it's a natural antidepressant. So like, I really have to do that. Swimming is just great for your cardio, and same thing, you feel good afterwards. Going for walks in the morning, super important. Just a walk where you have no aim. Your only aim is to just observe and just be present. That helps so much first thing in the morning, and I need to do that more. And it's too easy to trick yourself into thinking why you shouldn't do it. I don't want to put sunscreen on. It's too early. I should work on something. It's like, no. And then I went for a walk, and I'm like, oh my God, go for a walk in the morning. 15-minute walk. It's crazy how much it helps. So yeah, those are the most like general bedrock things that just anchor your whole life, right? And then like maybe yoga, just like if you have physical ailments, and then like journaling when you go through tough times for mental health, and then reading your journal every now and then, things like that. Do you have any weird dreams or paranormal experiences? No. I mean, when I was a kid, like, I don't believe in ghosts, right? Like, I'm so logical that I've really deduced, or I feel like I've deduced like what paranormal is, but it's fun as like a thing to like scare you. I hope I didn't just mess with people saying that. But yeah, for sure, weird dreams, of course, like ultra weird dreams. I think dreams are just inherently like just random, like random to the power of ultra random. And yeah, but the best is lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming's a barrel of monkeys. In the book, it's funny. So today I read one of my Andrew's takes, and in one of them I talk about how I had one lucid dream where I still remember this so well. I remember when I woke up in my dream, and I was like, "I'm dreaming." Oh, you're dreaming. Whoa, and and it felt like that. Like it really felt like that. It's fuzzy, right? Like because you're dreaming, but it really felt like, okay, I'm awake. Okay, so what do you want to do? I was walking around, like I was a couple motions, and I'm like, oh, I'm flying. I'm gonna start flying, and I started flying around the sky like Superman, and I was going through the clouds, man, and it felt so real, and it was so much fun. And then I remember coming to rest on the top of this like dilapidated like grain elevator or something, like something from my childhood in Thunder Bay. Right. And then I started walking around in the grain elevator, and then it shifted back to not lucid dreaming. But like that little, probably, maybe it felt like 40 seconds or 2 minutes. That was like one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. Like I've never been able to fly without being in a plane before, but that's as close as I could ever get. So anyways, there's a kind of a weird dream for you. How's having a baby in the house can disrupt them? A baby in the house can disrupt them. Yeah, that can be tough. Faith's getting better, and we have a larger house, so it's a lot easier. And our house is full concrete, so there's a lot more sound dampening. Hey, Diana, how you doing? Holy crap, 17 messages. Oh boy, we went from like 15 people, now we're at 44 again. This is wild. Anyways, friendship, love, autism out now. Hey, found out this girl I crushed on for years in school. Crushed on me just as much and I missed it. Yeah, Brock, that's what I mean. I've had both men and women tell me, like, Andrew, that woman was hitting on you. And then I say to them, what? No, we just chatted. Like, she just wanted to talk. Yeah, that's funny. Way off. I found it's best to just wait to be asked by strangers instead of trying to figure something. There you go, Sealed Universe. Like, right on for you. I'm still parsing this one out and how to properly. Would you like advice or would you like my ear? I need to I need to say that maybe as soon as I realize it could be one of those conversations. Oh boy, I'm like 17 questions to go. Oh boy. I have to go pick up Faith pretty soon. So if I don't get to your question, my apologies. Hey, Mary, thanks for having us at CR. It's so great here. Did you have sensory issues when you first had your baby girl? Katie, not really. Faith was pretty good. Like, it wasn't maybe a lot worse as things can be normally. And to be honest, the place we were living at was kind of overwhelming to begin with. So if anything, the surroundings that we had when Faith was born, those probably drowned out what could have been issues with Faith being loud. Does it feel fake when you hold your thoughts back? Totally, Zach. I think I talk about that in the book too. I think there's one. I remember like today I did a third of my part of the audio, my part of the book that I wrote. And yeah, like if I know something say you and I have a conversation, especially if it's something where like I know something you don't, and the fact that you don't know that, I have not power over you. I'm trying to think of a really good way of saying it. It's like I have an advantage maybe over you in some way, or like I would be I'm in a more advantageous situation than you are because I know something you don't. And I think you should know this. If I ever have that feeling, I have a strong urge to tell you, even if maybe it would be in my best interest to hold it back. The fact that I know that you should know this is important to me. I think in book 3 or 4, like I'll probably say this one story, like, oh God, this is not going to paint me in the best light. Just I've been very honest with people, not in ways that would hurt them, but in ways where they need to know. Like it's important that they know this, because if they don't, then they don't have the tools. Then they don't have the information to make the best choice. So every choice they make going forward is without what I know, and that's not fair to them. Yeah, God, I have some really brutal examples, but they're like I probably don't need to go that far. Yeah, I don't know. That's fun. That's fun. Like when I was really, this is bad. I don't think it's that bad. When I was like 21, oh God, I had like a 2-week relationship not going well. It didn't feel like it was going very well. And then one night I was out drinking and I met a woman that was great. And maybe it was the alcohol. And I'm like, I really want to hang out with this woman more, but I feel awkward now because it feels like I'm catching feelings for this woman. So I left her for about 5 minutes and I went out and I called my girlfriend and I said, hey, so I met this woman tonight and I'm really sorry to tell you this, but I'm pretty sure that you and I shouldn't be together anymore. And I hope no one judges me too hard, but like, this is the thing, right? This is the timing and this is my mind. Like, and this is the fact that like, I can't go forward without someone knowing what's happening. And the weird thing was the girlfriend who now became an ex-girlfriend, like at 2 a.m., she stayed friends with me. And we were still friends for 3 years. And I always wondered, like, am I the only man that ever like told her, like I'm not going to cheat on you. That's why I'm calling you, because I'm in this moment where I'm having these issues and I'm pretty sure that this is where I'm going to go with this. So yeah, and I think I was like 21. But that would be kind of an example of like anything that's to do with that, where I know I'm privy to information that you don't have, that there's a strong sense that like you should know that, and it's important that you know that like, and it matters to me that you know that, because I don't want days or weeks to pass where you didn't know that, and then and I had the information you didn't. That doesn't feel good. Ooh, well, that was fun. Anyways, funny stories. So if I don't get to your question, I apologize. I have to leave very soon. And so I kind of ranted for a moment. And yeah, so I'm going to scroll and just try and rattle off a few more good questions, and then we'll call it. What are your special subjects or top subjects that you can chat for days on? Oh God, HT, like I could pretty much philosophize about anything. Like when I say anything, just like the thing the topic I just talked about. If you wanted to go through rabbit holes about like the psychology behind that, I could do that for hours. That'd be so much fun. Just trying to sit there and just walk around it. Like it's a big 3-dimensional work of art and just analyze every part of it. Like, why do you do that? Like no one does that. Or maybe people do that. I don't know. Or just talking about like relativity, space, time, like this, like just anything to do with like, I don't know, black holes. Just, yeah, like dimensions after the fourth, like that. I mean, that's pretty far off stuff, but it's fun to try to talk about that stuff. So, weird question. Do you find yourself struggling to maintain eye contact? My brain cannot do it. So, bladed Thoth. The best way I can describe eye contact is when I'm trying to think and articulate myself, I find that if I'm looking someone in the eye, brain power is being taken up with the stimulus, with the information that their body language is giving me, and that takes up so much of my capacity, of my mind, that I can tell that I'm having trouble articulating because I'm looking at this person. So maybe right now you'll see I'm looking up, or I might look around, and that's what I'll do when I'm talking to people. The only time I can look someone in the eye is when I'm just relaying something. When I'm relaying general information that I have like ready to go. Then I can look someone in the eye. But if I'm trying to think and articulate, I can almost never look somebody in the eye. It would have to, or yeah. If I'm grinding, I can't do it. Or if it's something simple, I could do it, right? But if I need all my faculty, then I can't do it. Does Michelle love routine and structure, or is she more go with the flow? A little bit of both. Weird question, but do you struggle with sleep? My partner does. If you have any tips, we'd love some. I've never really struggled with sleep, but then one of my warning signs that my mental health is getting off is like, if one of the extreme warning signs is, oh, it's 3 a.m. and I'm up just like I'm in a foxhole and the enemy is attacking our position or something, and I'm sweating. If that happens, then I know I'm messed up. I think I've evolved. I've come a long way since then. So I know that I'm getting overwhelmed, or I'm getting into a bad state before I get that bad. But yeah, no, usually like my norm is go to bed, wake up 8 to 10 hours later, and that's it. Or I wake up to pee, go right back to bed. So the only time that my sleep gets messed with is if I'm in a bad way. And that's only happened like month and a half in 2013 and a month and a half in 2017. And then like little blips throughout my life. Hello, Wonderly. Ordered and read the book. It opened my eyes. Done the test and now waiting for an assessment. Sweet, short Mike. So excited for you. What perspective is the book written? Casey. So it's both. So Michelle wrote 80% of this book. Book 2 will be about half and half. Michelle goes through, like friendship, our friendship, us falling in love, and then the autism diagnosis. And after lots of her chapters and her stories, I give my take on it. So yeah, I wrote about 20% of the book where I read what she wrote, and then I give you my take. And yeah, it's just a story about tons of our stories, and how we met. We met on Bumble. My Bumble profile picture is actually like in the book pictures. If you go to BellamimaLifestyles.com, if you go there right now, you can see them. BellamimaLifestyles.com, book pictures, chapter, 5. Don't quote me on that. But you'll see my Bumble photo that she swiped right on. So all the way from us swiping right, all the way to getting a diagnosis in 2019, and then a chapter about a few months after that. So yeah. Hope that helps answer your question. I'm adding this to my read list. Thanks, work buddies. This could be a good read for my community. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. One of the reasons why I'm here today is just kind of to promote the book, also to chat, hang out with everybody. If you've been here for the last 10, 15 minutes, you can tell I'm pretty much open to talk about anything. And it's fun to go into talk about these certain things. So yeah, talk about the book and then any questions. Okay, if I missed your question, I apologize. I play Commander, but very rarely. We'll love to chat on Discord one day, Big Mac. Maybe one day, yeah. Like next few times we're on live together. Bring it up, and we'll look more into that. Your lives should start about us asking you about what you can ramble on for hours about. Well, I hope I answered you, Jacqueline. Then I love to speak about our universe. Well, sealed universe. Ask me a question. Did you read Our Mathematical Universe, HT? Our Mathematical Universe. If I haven't read it, I know I probably watched enough content on that, what that feels like, but what do you think is beyond our event horizon? Oh, sealed universe. Oh, that's a fun one. Oh, that's so much fun. So that's where I find that I don't know, it's like trying to comprehend infinity. So I find that when you ask the question, what's in a black hole? What's outside of our universe? It's the same as asking, like, what does infinity look like? And then you actually try and see it. Because you're only like, well, for one, you're not like when you're thinking, right? You think you're thinking in 3 dimensions, but like whatever the universe is in a higher dimension, right? So the first thing that you kind of know is that you're speculating on infinity, right? So that's one way. To actually try to explain it though, like the one way to explain it is like, imagine that there's infinite universe, and this is just one hypothesis. It's one fun way of trying to see. It's like throwing a rock in the abyss and wondering like how far down until you hear a crack, right? So the rock that I would throw in the abyss is like, imagine a universe where the only difference is your name. And everything else about that universe is exactly the same, identical. Because if you're playing with infinity, then that means that you have infinite odds of there being an identical universe. But the odds are so bad. It's like, yeah, but you have infinity. So, okay. And then you take that a step further. It's like, okay, so every decision I've ever made, every single step I've ever took, there could be an alternate universe for every one of those? Yeah. And it's like, whoa, slow down. Everything? Yes. Okay. And then that, like, if you're not already overwhelmed by that, well, then you can try and go further, but you're kind of past, our base. Like you're into the realm of you're in the deep end. I think that's when you hear the crack in the abyss that the rock that you threw in made. All right, that was fun. I hope Sealed Universe, I hope that was fun for you as it was for me. And there's more ways of interpreting it too. That's just one of them. But anyways, thanks for your answer, chat. Good. Have to go. Take care. What EDH text do you primarily play? I only have one, Joseph, and it's like some dragons, and it's I forget the name of the commander, but it's a pre-constructed one. Any bits on MTG? Sorry if anybody's here for some MTG content. I will answer MTG questions. But hey, Kev man, how you doing? What is your biggest piece of advice for someone in their 40s just now being diagnosed? Just it's never too late, and just your learning journey has begun. So embrace it and just move forward at your own pace, no rush, and just start learning about maybe where you scored on on your diagnosis, like where you were like a stage 2 or whatever you were, and learn more about those topics. Yeah. All good down under. Right on, Kev man. Well, I'm on a header right now, guys, but I'm just going to read this last question. Space is expanding there faster than the speed of light. Maybe the birth of the universe themselves. Maybe the birth of the universes themselves. Yeah, there's a fun one. Another fun one would be that, like, maybe black holes, like the opposite of a black hole is a white hole. So then they're all black holes, some black holes. I don't know. I'm just speculating. It's a hypothesis. But like, if a black hole turns into a white hole, then it's like, is that are black holes seeds for universes, or do they just all evaporate after, like, what is it, 10 to the 80th power of years or something, like a ridiculous amount of time? Oh, it's so much fun when you can visualize. It's fun. Being a supporter for a while. I love your fam's content. Ordering your book tomorrow. Thanks, Grayson. If you enjoy it, please give us a review. No obligation, of course. All right, it's 4:00, everyone. I gotta get going. But thanks for hanging out. Anybody who's been here for a while, thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna try and go live more often. And we're in Studio Preston right now. This is where we're doing the audiobook. So we have blankets and microphones, and Michelle and I are reading the audiobook like the last week. So yeah. Anyways, Singularity, I love it. Great mind. Yeah, super fun. Down the rabbit hole we go. Okay, have a great day, everybody. Take care, all the best, and yeah, keep your stick on the ice. Bye.